For decades, the Republican Party has lied to the American public and said that trickle-down economics would help them. That has been a lie that only enriches the richest Republicans, and the middle class has been stagnant and declining. But what MAGA has come in and replaced trickle-down economics with is trickle-down dipshits. You have a dipshit as president of the United States, and he has appointed all of the best dipshits that this country has to offer. He put this guy, a total grifter, a total conspiracy theorist, a total whack job, and a just gold star dipshit, Kash Patel, in charge of the FBI. And here's his hearing, his budget hearing yesterday.
On that.
It was due last week by law.
I understand.
And your answer is you just understand. You're not going to follow the law?
My answer is that I am following the law, and I'm working with my interagency partners to do this and get you the budget that you are required to have.
And you have no timeline?
No.
Well, we also need a full budget request, not a single paragraph full of wild talking points that we saw with the skinny budget proposal. We're now having a budget hearing without a budget request. So, Director Patel, where is the FY 2026 budget request for the FBI?
It's being worked on, ma'am.
Have you reviewed it? Have you approved it?
Not yet.
When will we get it?
As soon as I can get it from my interagency partners and get it approved.
6 months from now?
I don't know, ma'am. I'm not going
Well,
to
how do we as Congress do our budget and our work without that request and without the spend plan?
Well, ma'am, I'm here. I'm doing the best I can. I can't make up answers. I'm going to commit to you to work on getting you the information you need.
That is insufficient and deeply disturbing. No response?
I've given my response.
Well,
okay, I've had more productive conversations with teenage boys than that. This is the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigations of the United States of America, and he shows up to a budget hearing without a budget and acts that smug and that incompetent. And here is the situation with the DOJ, with the FBI, with the CIA. These groups have always had a Republican lean, and Trump wants people to not just have a Republican lean, but for them to have a criminal lean and pledge to him and to him alone. So he appoints grifters and morally compromised people. When they did all of this stuff about the deep state, they're the deep state. They got out all objective people from the FBI, from the CIA, from the DOJ, and now it's full of dipshits. He is a dipshit and a dangerous one at that.
You know what struck me about this whole thing is if you were showing up to a budget hearing and the law said it was required 1 week in advance and you had simply done no work on it and had nothing to show up, I would think you would have some humility. You would throw yourself on the sword. He is so stupid. He doesn't even know that what he is doing is shameful because he is incapable of feeling shame.
And deeply unqualified.
Deeply unqualified.
None of these people are qualified for these jobs, and that's the point. The point is to come in and break the country because Trump wants everybody to love him. He wants all of private commerce to love him. He wants everybody in the United States to love him. It's never going to be enough. He is that broken. Nothing could ever fill this man up. This is a disgrace to all law enforcement. Shame on all of the 77 million Americans that voted for him. Hillary called you a basket of deplorables. That was spot on. President Biden called you trash. That's spot on. This is a disgrace. This is embarrassing. This DOJ pardoned people that beat cops and took a shit in the Capitol. It's disgusting. It's deplorable. A total disgrace. Okay, moving along, Trump. You know, he thinks he's such a badass. He thought he could just come in and do tariffs and do all of this stuff. China was like, we're not playing with you. We're not calling you. You can't sit with us. You can't talk to us. All we're going to do is troll you on social media because it's too easy. So he's had this 145% tariff on China. China responded likewise, and they refused to take his phone calls. they refuse to have anything to do with him. This morning, Trump posts on Lie Social the following: 80% tariff on China seems right. Up to Scott B. And another one: China should open up its market to the USA. Would be so good for them. Closed markets don't work anymore. Well, when you arrived at your job, the markets were open. Right. You're the one that closed them. And you're already retreating and backing down because you are, as your Secretary of Defense so appropriately called you before he got radicalized, an armchair dictator. And you're playing with real dictators and real countries that have real policies and real strength. And you are just a chicken shit coward surrounded by stupid people like Howard Nutlick, who cram their heads up your ass and laugh at your stupid jokes. This used to be a serious country. This is the decline of the country. China will not back down.
No.
Everybody that was our adversary has the United States exactly where they've always wanted us, specifically Vladimir Putin and Xi, all because of this man and the 77 million dipshits that voted for him.
I just go back to this every time when we talk about his fabulous art of the deal negotiating. He bankrupted casinos. He inherited $500 million and went bankrupt 6 times. He is a fraud. He is a con man. And China is doing exactly what China should do. They're saying, go fuck yourself, because he is now negotiating against himself. And the United States are the losers because our ports are empty. We're going to lose jobs in all of the industries because he is a dipshit and bad at business.
And he doesn't care that people lose their jobs.
He thinks it's a good thing.
That was in the Oval yesterday. He said he just didn't care that people lost their jobs, people that probably voted for him. And another thing that they've broken is the FAA. And there's a huge problem with air traffic controllers. And this is all Trump. This is all the Trump administration's fault, full stop. They came in and fired 400 air traffic controllers. And now they're trying to blame Pete Buttigieg. Play the clip.
Before we had the rigged election, to give out a brand new gorgeous system to one company that was going to do the whole thing, one of the best companies in the world that you know very well. You know, there are 3 or 4 of them that do it. And when they took over, Buttigieg has no clue. You know, he drives to work on his bicycle with his, in all fairness, with his husband on the back, which is a nice, loving relationship. But he didn't have a clue. This guy didn't have a clue. And he's actually a contender for president. Between him and Crockett, you can have that party. But he didn't.
Okay, I think this is just abhorrent. I think that is just absolutely disgusting. Pete Buttigieg is a Rhodes Scholar. He actually served in the military. He is competent. He ran the Department of Transportation flawlessly. Donald Trump and Howard Nutlick, because he licks the nuts of Donald Trump, sitting there giggling and chuckling over the homophobia, is abhorrent. It is disgusting. And this movement continues to amaze only by how cruel and more homophobic and more racist and more emboldened they feel to do it each and every day that goes along. And all of those guys that he always has to sit behind the Oval Office with an entourage behind him of hecklers and narrators. This is, to me, he looks weak. All the guys standing around him look weak. It's just humiliating. And I want to say one thing about Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg has one husband, Donald Trump. You and your family values fake Christian base. You've got 3 wives, 5 kids. Elon Musk has 14 kids, and there are reports that he could have up to 100, is a total deadbeat dad, fights with his baby mamas on Twitter, and you want to have the audacity to lecture people like Pete Buttigieg about family values? You're hypocrites. You have no credibility. The 77 million people that voted for you are not morally superior. They're morally inferior because they're judgmental charlatans.
Here's what I cannot believe in 2025. We are passing the buck every time. Do you ever get tired of not taking accountability?
No, they don't.
Do you ever?
No.
Did you ever consider and look inward? They don't. It's like people are dying in plane crashes. You're firing people and you're blaming someone who had a fantastic record. I truly cannot believe the American public, those 77 million, don't look at this and say, at some point, is he not accountable for his own actions?
No.
I mean, okay.
No, they don't. I mean, he is the manifestation of all of the worst impulses of the American public. When you value profits over the well-being of human beings, and your minister does that, and your megachurch does that, it's cooked in the books. And this guy is the manifestation of that. And his defenders defend him vociferously. They will not criticize him because he hates who they hate. They like making fun of gay people. It makes them feel tough. It makes them feel good. That's what the religion, the white evangelical Christianity does for them. They like that. Next up, let's talk about Pete Buttigieg. Here is a headline in April 2024. U.S. needs more air traffic controllers, and put up the next tweet. Agent Self FBI tweets, critical FAA employees fired under Biden, 0. In fact, they called for more. Critical FAA employees fired under Trump, 400 air traffic controllers, when in 2024, Pete Buttigieg was calling for the FAA to hire more. Now we're having serious aviation safety issues. In 2019, 100% of the Democrats voted yes on the Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development and Related Agencies Appropriations Act. Only 12 Republicans joined them. 97 of the Republicans that voted no, including big Christian Moses Mike Johnson, are still in office. Yet, Trump and MAGA are trying to blame Democrats for their failures and degradation of the FAA. And he goes on to call them fucking morons. And he's 100% right regarding that.
With the air traffic control, it is so hard to believe that, Trump is firing people on the board. He absolutely, positively does not give a shit about safety. That's what it boils down to. He doesn't care.
But they're breaking it because Elon Musk wants to own it.
That's
they're
right.
doing it on purpose because this is a play because Elon Musk wants Starlink to have some new FAA. Elon Musk wants to be the savior of all of this stuff. Problem with Elon Musk is he is wildly incompetent and he doesn't have the accolades that the American public has attached to him. He didn't invent Tesla. He didn't invent Starlink. He does ketamine all the time. He is a Twitter addict and he has God only knows how many baby mamas, and he runs around letting his kid wipe boogers on the Oval Office desk. I mean, it's just insane. But here's Elaine Chao, who used to be the Secretary of Transportation, who is the wife of disgraced Senator Mitch McConnell. Here she is on CNN last night.
Important first step.
Yeah, and the other aspect is getting Congress to approve all of this. I mean, and this didn't seem to be as maybe at the top of minds for everyone. House Republicans, including Shawn Duffy, when you were the Transportation Secretary, voted against upgrades to the air traffic control system. It was a party line vote. They all voted against it. One thing that has happened as we've watched all this play out is a bit of a blame game. And, we've heard some people say it's President Biden's fault and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg's. They were in office for 4 years. Obviously, President Trump and you were there before. I wonder what you would say in terms of just, the state of where it is right now and who's responsible for that.
I think we should put the blame game aside. I mean, these are very important issues. The air traffic control system affects the economic vitality, the vibrancy of our economy. It affects productivity. So I think we should just come together as a country and gather the political will to make these changes.
Okay, I've heard enough. This is just such bullshit. Shawn Duffy, who is the current Secretary of Transportation, did not vote to upgrade this. And she needs to clearly say it. To just, cast this wide net. We shouldn't play the blame game. Your husband had the opportunity to end Trump once and for all. He didn't do it. Trump said all this racist shit about you. Yeah. And you can't sit there on national television and say at the twilight of your husband's career, you're exactly right, Caitlin. Every time Republicans have had the opportunity to vote for these upgrades, they don't. And now it's pretty rich that they're trying to criticize and blame the people who were trying to institute these upgrades. It's not the blame game, it's the fact game. It is the fact game. And so journalists like Caitlin Collins need to quit saying blame game because it is a fact game. It is stating facts. But the way everything is framed in the media only exacerbates this insanity. State the facts. Let's get into the fact game and get off of the blame game, because the facts are that the blame falls on the Trump administration for all of this. And the wife of Mitch McConnell, who has fallen prey to all of Trump's racism and crazy shit, can't say it. Just like her husband can't say it. These people are cowardice, and here's why. Because at the end of the day, they believe and like everything that Trump does. They just want it to be a little bit more civilized. He's a little too trashy for them. But at the end of the day, they like owning the libs. They like not paying taxes. They like the rich getting richer. They like to skirt the system. They like all this stuff. They just wish it wasn't so trashy.
When she's talking, I'm thinking, you're going to let an island full of misfit toys trickle down dipshits completely rework the aviation system? Like, I have no confidence, given all the money in the world, Trump can competently put the FAA back together. None.
No, I mean, it's if he was interested in upgrading it, you wouldn't break it.
Right.
You would have a thoughtful plan that was thought out so that American lives were not in danger. I mean, I don't know how many, it was less than 20 days into his administration, and we have a military helicopter crashing into a commercial airliner. And all of those people are dead. And the Trump administration, hardly anybody even talks about it anymore. If this would have happened on Pete Buttigieg, as he says, on his watch, Fox News would still be in a death spiral over it, as they should be.
Right.
But these guys fuck up with such consistency that consistent fuck up leads to impunity, and it's gross, and the blame falls solely on all of these Republicans that pretend like they're so pro-life, but they're not.
They're not.
All they are is pro-own the libs. Okay, that's all we have for this episode. Subscribe, get us to 1 million, and we'll see you all later.